Ilia Topuria just shook up the entire UFC landscape. The undefeated Georgian Spanish sensation has officially vacated his featherweight title and is making the jump to lightweight. But here's the twist. His next move could lead to one of the biggest super fights in UFC history. Guys, we're giving away $500 once we hit 500 subscribers. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for a chance to win.
Number 1 ranked former champion Alex Volkanovski will be taking on number 3 ranked Diego Lopez for the vacant UFC featherweight title. Topuria has felt like he's done all that he can in that division, and he feels like he's cemented his legacy, and his body cannot make the weight anymore. So Topuria will be moving up to 155 pounds and will be vacating the featherweight title. So the way that this works is, as soon as the first punch is thrown in this fight, the title is vacated.
Dana White marks a significant shift in Topuria's career and sets the stage for potential blockbuster matchups at 155 pounds. Topuria's decision stems from a combination of physical challenges and a desire to cement his legacy in a new weight class. Dana White explained the move during an Instagram live session. Topuria has felt like he's done all he can in that division, and he feels like he's cemented his legacy. The 28-year-old fighter had an extraordinary run at featherweight, capturing the title with a second-round knockout of Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 298 in February 2024. He followed up with a spectacular third-round knockout of Max Holloway at UFC 308 in October 2024. 2024, solidifying his status as one of the most dominant champions in recent memory. However, Topuria admitted that cutting down to 145 pounds had become increasingly difficult. Speaking on the Full Send podcast, he said, "My body cannot handle it anymore. I've done everything I can in this division, and I want to challenge myself against the best at lightweight." Fans exploded after the announcement. With Topuria vacating the title, the UFC has moved quickly to fill the void. Former champion Alexander Volkanovski will face rising star Diego Lopez for the vacant featherweight belt at UFC 314 on April 12, 2025, at the Kaseya Center in Miami. Alexander Volkanovski, the former champion, is coming off back-to-back knockout losses to Makhachev and Topuria, but remains one of the most skilled fighters in the division. Diego Lopez has been on an impressive 5-fight win streak, including a unanimous decision victory over Brian Ortega at UFC 306 in September 2024. This matchup promises to usher in a new era for the featherweight division, while Topuria focuses on his lightweight ambitions. Topuria's move to lightweight has generated immense excitement among fans and analysts alike. He has already set his sights on reigning lightweight champion Islam Makhachev, whom he has called out multiple times. In a recent interview, Topuria confidently stated, "I really believe that I can beat Islam. He's a great champion, but I like challenges that fans think are competitive. With Islam, I'll have that."
There's been a bit of discussion around you potentially fighting Islam Makhachev.
This is something that I want to do. Islam, he's a great fighter. He's the #1 pound for pound. I'm the best fighter in the world. So I know that I can do with him whatever I want to do, because I know that I'm much better than him. The UFC knows that, but at the end of the day, this is something that the UFC decides, you know?
Okay.
Because they know how to run the business. They know how to do it. They have a lot of experience. So if they tell me that they want me to keep defending the belt in the 145 division, maybe I will do that. But if they let me go up in 155, I will.
The UFC appears keen to capitalize on this potential super fight. Ariel Helwani reported, "The plan is for Ilia Topuria to fight Islam Makhachev later this year, perhaps as soon as International Fight Week. If this fight materializes, it would pit two undefeated champions against each other in what could be one of the biggest events in UFC history."
You think this dude is vacating his title and all the perks that come with that to fight a #1 contender fight? There is no chance.
On the other end of that, if you're a Dustin Poirier fan, do we really want to see that? Do we really want to see this man kill a third legend potentially? He knocks out Alexander Volkanovski, knocks out Max Holloway, goes and knocks out Dustin Poirier too. Like, he can't keep getting away with this. Give him Islam. Give it for the 155 title.
Also, I've never specifically asked him this, and I don't know if anyone else has, but, you know.
The news of Topuria vacating his title has sparked widespread reactions across social media and within the MMA community. Topuria himself has been vocal about his ambitions, calling out Makhachev on multiple occasions. Islam, if I want to, I can finish you. If I want to, I can knock you out. I'll make it look easy. See you soon. The undefeated Spaniard's confidence has captivated fans, with many believing he could pose a legitimate threat to Makhachev's reign. Despite the hype, Islam Makhachev and his team have expressed reservations about granting Topuria an immediate title shot. Speaking to Match TV, Makhachev dismissed the idea. I'm not going to give him a shot right away, because he hasn't done all the work he was supposed to in his weight class. There are still contenders he needs to beat. Let him move up and earn his shot, and we'll definitely fight. The highly anticipated super fight between UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev and undefeated featherweight kingpin Ilia Topuria appears to be in jeopardy. Fans have been buzzing about the potential clash, but recent comments from Makhachev, his team, and UFC insiders suggest the fight may not materialize as hoped. Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, echoed this sentiment during an interview with Submission Radio. Of course he's cutting the line, but if that's what fans in the UFC want, then it might happen. Still, I think he should prove himself first. Mendez also suggested that Topuria face other top lightweight contenders like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira before challenging for the belt.
Okay, I got to ask you, man. So we were talking before this. You're like, I don't even know what we're talking about here, but I don't know if you saw. There's been some crazy news happening, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. So basically, in the last 24 hours, news has come out that Ilia Topuria has officially vacated his belt. Right, he is no longer the featherweight champion, and Alex and Diego Lopez will be fighting in Miami. Ilia Topuria has made his intentions clear to come to 155, so it's official. So before we even get to anything else, man, I know we all heard the whispers, but what's your reaction, man? He actually vacated the belt to 155.
Wow. Hey, respect.
Rizvan Magomedov, Makhachev's manager and a key figure in Team Khabib, reinforced the notion that Topuria needs to earn his place in the lightweight division. Topuria versus Dustin and Charles contender fight to prove he's a legit lightweight. So we don't have to defeat another small featherweight. We need big fights that make sense for everyone. Magomedov's comments highlight a growing narrative within Makhachev's camp. They view Topuria as unproven at 155 pounds, despite his stellar record at featherweight. UFC President Dana White has yet to make an official announcement about the fight, but hinted at logistical challenges during a recent press conference. Look, we all know Ilia is a beast, but moving up a division is no joke. Islam is focused on other goals right now. We'll see how things play out. White has previously expressed interest in marquee matchups for International Fight Week, but appears cautious about rushing into this particular bout. Fans have taken to social media to voice their opinions on the potential fight and its current uncertainty. One fan wrote, "I can see Ilia finishing Islam, but it won't be easy, edging towards Islam." Another commented, "Kid needs to shut up and defend his title a couple more times, then Islam will be ready to smash him." The debate underscores the polarizing nature of this matchup within the MMA community. UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping weighed in on his YouTube channel, dismissing any notion that Makhachev is avoiding Topuria out of fear. The reality is, Islam's not scared of anybody. The man is a phenomenal champion. But any time you fight a smaller guy, it's always a risk.
All right, you've seen the thumbnail. Islam Makhachev is scared. He's afraid of Ilia Topuria. Of course he's afraid.
I'm so fucking scared right now.
As usual, it's an easy fight until they put your name on the contract.
Sign the contract, big boy.
We all know if it were that easy and if Topuria is that small, then he would already share the octagon with him, right?
As of now, the super fight remains in limbo. With International Fight Week just months away, time is running out for negotiations to finalize the bout. Several scenarios could unfold. The potential clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria has all the ingredients of an iconic UFC showdown. Two undefeated champions with contrasting styles and personalities. However, logistical hurdles and differing priorities have cast doubt on whether it will happen anytime soon. As fans eagerly await updates, one thing is clear. If this fight does come together, it could be one of the most exciting matchups in UFC history. Until then, both fighters and their camps have plenty to say about who deserves what and why.
So I'm not ducking Tom Aspinall. If I failed to fight Stipe, I would be ducking Stipe because we contractually have been signed up to fight over a year ago. This is Stipe's position. The Tom narrative came out of nowhere. He won a belt and now suddenly I'm ducking him. I've never had negotiations to even fight him, if this makes sense. So the fans are just ignoring it. They're ignoring all logic and they just have finally found someone that they think can compete with me and everyone wants to see it now.
Jon Jones, the undisputed king of the UFC heavyweight division, is facing accusations of ducking Tom Aspinall, the young and hungry interim champion. Fans are calling for the fight of the decade, but Jones seems uninterested. Is it strategy, fear, or legacy preservation? The UFC heavyweight division is at a boiling point. On one side, we have Jon Bones Jones, a living legend and arguably the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. On the other side is Tom Aspinall, the interim heavyweight champion and a rising star who has been tearing through opponents with terrifying efficiency. The controversy began after Tom Aspinall's stunning first-round knockout victory over Sergey Pavlovich at UFC 295 to claim the interim heavyweight title. In his post-fight interview,
"Hello, John. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight."
Aspinall wasted no time calling out Jon Jones. "John, I just think I'm better than you. I know I can beat you in a fight." The crowd erupted as Aspinall asked his fans, "Who wants to see Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones?" The answer was clear. Everyone wanted it. Social media exploded with fans demanding the fight, and even UFC President Dana White hinted that this matchup will be inevitable. Jones initially dismissed Aspinall in a since-deleted tweet. "Everyone's the next big thing until I beat them. Just a few months ago, Gain was the absolute future of MMA. Now everyone's like, who the hell is that guy?" Aspinall fired back. "John, chill out, mate." Fan tweeted, "Aspinall just called out Jones. Let's see if the GOAT actually shows up or ducks again." Jon Jones responded to Aspinall's call-out with a tweet. He said, "Supply and demand at its finest. I love it." While cryptic, fans interpreted this as Jones acknowledging the hype, but not committing to the fight. Fight Aspinall. Literally nobody cares about you versus Stipe anymore. Get in that octagon. You've been called out. Tom will retire you, old man. Despite the public pressure, Jones seemed unfazed. He later stated in an interview, "Beating Tom is just like beating Cyril Gain. What happens to me after I beat him? Nothing changes for me." This dismissive attitude only fueled accusations that Jones was avoiding a dangerous opponent. Tom Aspinall hasn't been shy about keeping the pressure on Jones. From playful jabs on social media to more direct comments in interviews, he's made it clear he wants this fight. But behind the jokes lies a serious message. Aspinall believes he's ready to dethrone Jones and unify the heavyweight titles. Adding fuel to the fire, Aspinall has also pointed out that Jones has a history of seemingly avoiding certain matchups. Jon Jones ducked Francis Ngannou for 3 years. Jon Jones doesn't like being called a duck. Over Tom Aspinall fight, fires back. I guess there was a video that resurfaced recently of me saying that after Stipe, Francis was the only fight I was interested in. That video was recorded well over a year ago. That was recorded before I got injured, before there was an intern champion crowned. I had already voiced that I wasn't interested in any more randoms. Now magically, I'm ducking a fight that's never been negotiated or discussed at any table that matters. LOL, I'm sticking to my plans. Jon Jones jumps for no one. How many belts does one need? How many times do I have to break my own record? Sports Rollo tweeted back immediately to Jon response. "Yeah, you are not going to fight him. Stipe at this stage is washed. 42 years old and hasn't fought in 3 years. No one cares about that fight. It's almost like Jake Paul taking the credit for beating Mike Tyson. Aspinall right now is destroying the heavyweight division, and it's not close. Go ahead and finish this fight, please, and retire already. You are the GOAT, but honestly, you are holding up the belt for the real champion." Jon Jones then made a statement on social media that again sparked significant attention in the MMA community. Addressing rumors of a potential fight with rising UFC heavyweight star Tom Aspinall, Jones tweeted, "I'm 37 years old now. I've kicked everyone's ass. My job is to finish strong and make an amazing movie. Go join Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather, and all the other retired badasses." This remark appears to dismiss the idea of a matchup with Aspinall, while emphasizing Jones's legacy as one of the greatest fighters in MMA history. With an undefeated record at heavyweight, and a storied career spanning over a decade, Jones seems focused on cementing his legacy, rather than taking on new challenges. Meanwhile, Aspinall, who has rapidly risen through the heavyweight ranks with dominant performances and an interim title to his name, continues to push for recognition as one of the top fighters in the division. The MMA community has been divided on this issue. On one hand, some analysts argue that Jon Jones has nothing left to prove. Mark Diakis, a former UFC fighter, told The Mirror Jon has done everything. He's fought all the top guys like Rampage Jackson and Lyoto Machida. He doesn't need to prove anything anymore. He should just retire. On the other hand, many believe that facing Aspinall is essential for Jones's legacy. Joe Rogan discussed this on his podcast, saying, if Jon wants to cement himself as the GOAT, he has to take on these young killers like Aspinall. Otherwise, people will always wonder if he avoided him. Rogan also addressed rumors that Jones demanded $30 million for the fight, a claim he later retracted after UFC President Dana White called it nonsense. Still, Rogan emphasized that fans want this fight more than any other. Even former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has weighed in on the situation, offering a surprising take. Despite his own history with the UFC and failed negotiations for a fight against Jones, Ngannou has defended Jones's position. Ngannou told TMZ Sports, I think there's a negotiation situation here that's involved, that we don't know all the ups and downs. He's in the position to claim what he wants, as he said. He said, Aspinall needs that fight. I don't need it. And when you look at it, it's pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to have more winning that fight other than money. But for Aspinall, who's someone coming and trying to cement his way in the division, that will be everything. Jon Jones has repeatedly defended his decision not to fight Aspinall, for now. There are fighters literally all over the world that think in the back of their mind, I can beat Jon Jones. There will be no statues of you. Go out and win more. Make your name greater. That is the only way you do it. The debate raged on, with fans refusing to back down, each side doubling down on their stance. Jones is ducking hard. He knows Aspinall is too dangerous. Another fan tweet. This isn't about legacy. It's about fear. Jon Jones recently tweeted on November 10th, 2024, addressing criticisms regarding his legacy and the notion of being called a duck. He stated, if he becomes the best of all time, then calling me a duck would make sense. Right now? Way too early. My challenge to him, build a career like mine. Winning 5? Hard enough? Padinera? I seriously doubt it. This statement reflects Jones's confidence in his own achievements, particularly his record of 17 title fight victories, which is unparalleled in UFC history. What does this mean for the heavyweight division? The delay in organizing this fight has left the heavyweight division in limbo. While Jon Jones remains the undisputed champion, many feel that his reign lacks legitimacy until he faces Aspinall, who has been dominant as interim champion. Aspinall's last 4 fights have lasted a combined total of just 3 minutes and 37 seconds, a testament to his incredible skill and power. Analysts believe his speed and striking could pose unique challenges for Jones, who has never faced someone quite like him. What happens next? As of now, there's no official word on whether Jon Jones will agree to fight Tom Aspinall. Dana White has hinted that negotiations are ongoing, but hasn't provided any concrete updates. For now, fans can only speculate and hope that this dream matchup becomes a reality. Whether it's about legacy or fear, one thing is certain: Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall would be one of the biggest fights in UFC history. So, what do you think? Is Jon Jones protecting his legacy by avoiding Tom Aspinall? Or is he genuinely uninterested in fighting someone who does nothing for him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more UFC news and analysis.